Sorry, 3 people. Everyone, welcome to the replay of the live stream. We're going to wait for some people to get in here, and then we'll get started with tonight's live stream. Damn it. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's pretty chilly here too. Actually, pretty comfortable. It's I think in the low 60s right now. Do have a surprise guest with me right now. I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll show him. We got Mike here from my Abandoned Adventures. He's joining me tonight for the live stream, and we're going to be discussing some stories about situations that we encountered during our adventures. We have a few of them to talk about, so we're going to flip back around to us every once in a while, but we're going to keep the camera on the fire so you guys have something enjoyable to look at tonight.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
All right, so I titled this Story Time Saturday because we have a few stories to share with you. Nothing really crazy or hard to believe, but just some funny scenarios that we encountered. The first one's going to start out with a video that was titled Abandoned House with a Nice Older Kitchen. It's a video that we filmed 6 months ago, and the story we're going to tell you, you could actually watch during our video as we encountered it. And basically, it's a house sitting along a main street in a small town of Pennsylvania. And we ended up getting in through the basement. And in the basement, there was no access to go up to the main floor. As we were walking around the basement, I was filming. We came to the one area, and we both heard some voices above us. And what sounded like someone was in the house. And we thought for sure that someone was either living there or maybe in there, illegally, or we don't know what was going on, but it definitely sounded like someone was just above us on the main floor. And we stood there quietly for a few moments. We heard some kind of like muffled voices. I think it was a girl's voice.
A girl's voice and a dog.
Yeah, a dog. The sound of a dog. It sounded like they were just above us, like a few feet away. And thought maybe there was someone outside in front of the house. So I told Mike to go outside, and he went out, checked the front. No one there. No one in front of the house except some cars passing by. But the sound we heard came just above us in the main floor of the house. So we eventually headed upstairs, and obviously there's no one in the house. So we don't know what we heard or who we heard, but it did startle us for a moment. We thought for sure there was someone in there with us, but it's kind of hard to explain as to what it was because there was no signs of anyone, no one walking around, no one outside. And it only lasted maybe about 30 seconds, but again, that video is called Abandoned House with Nice Older Kitchen. If you watch that video, it's going to be the beginning part of the video. You may or may not be able to hear the voices in the video. I'm not sure if the microphone picked it up or not, but that was one of our first encounters that we experienced that was kind of out of the ordinary. Let me check some of your comments here. Hey, Electrical Dynamo, thanks for stopping by tonight. And that's right, make sure you guys hit this thumbs up for tonight's live stream. Nesbitt Experience, thanks for stopping by tonight. Well, I think most people would probably get the hell out of there, but us, we're curious and we're determined to find out what's inside an abandoned structure, and that's what we did. So we stuck to it, and luckily we didn't see anything or anyone in there. Name of it was Abandoned House with Nice Older Kitchen. You could either search that and put JPVideos next to it, or go under, actually all the videos, you could go under the Abandoned Remains series playlist. They're all categorized under there. I'm going to give you the title of each video that we're talking about tonight, and you'll be able to find them there.
I think the dog was. We just heard the barking of the dog and a girl's voice.
Yeah, it was kind of muffled, but it was loud enough for us to hear it, but we couldn't hear what they were saying. So I don't know if the girl was talking to the dog or talking to someone else or what it was, but unexplainable.
Thanks, Adam.
Okay. I'm going to let you take the next one, which is our first. Next one's going to be about a funeral home. Now, this video hasn't been released yet because we didn't get the footage yet of it. We did scout it the first time, got some photos of it, but we ran out of time. Mike had to be at work, and we returned the second time. So there's two parts to this story, but I'm going to let Mike take it from the first part of it.
The first part is we were able to get in, walking around. We checked out the whole first floor, scouted it out, and decided to go upstairs and check out the upstairs. Jay walks up the stairs, and it was like a two section staircase. So it had a wall there. He goes up the first part, turns, and he goes up the second part, and I didn't see him. So I started going up the first part. I put my hand on the railing and start climbing up. I got right behind him, and he started backing down. He's like, "Who's there? Is someone there? Someone there?" So I started like going backwards, and I kind of like tripped down a couple stairs. And I ended up running down the first set of stairs, and I'm standing there waiting. And it turns out it was me putting my hand on the railing, which was metal, a metal tube. And as I ran my hand up the metal tube, it just made an eerie, like, sound, and scared the hell out of him.
Yeah, it basically sounded like this. It sounded like someone took in a deep breath, and I was at the near top of the staircase, and I thought someone was right around the corner in the room, and it scared the crap out of me. I started running back down the steps. Mike almost rolled down the steps, and I stopped for a moment. I'm like, wait a minute, what was that sound? And I saw he had his hand on the railing and was making the sound as he's going down the steps. Lo and behold, it was just Mike holding onto the railing, and the way the acoustics sounded in that the staircase there, or the stairwell, it just sounded like someone was taking a deep breath, like right in front of me. And we kind of got freaked out and scared for nothing. It's definitely a funny experience that we were able to look back at it and laugh about. But the funny thing is, right after that happened, though, we were both kind of like on edge as we checked out the rest of the house, because we thought, okay, maybe there could be someone here, even though that was our fault that we made that sound. We don't know if anyone's in this house or not. So, being a funeral home, we didn't know if it was haunted. We didn't know if there were squatters there. We didn't know what it was, but it definitely kept us on edge for the remainder of the exploration of that house.
My hands were shaking the whole rest of the time.
So we decided to go back to the funeral home. Actually, I don't know if I shared any photos of it on the YouTube channel community tab. I did on my Facebook page videos, but we decided to go back. When was it? About 2 months ago?
Probably about 2 months.
Yeah, around 2 months ago. We decided to go back on a Sunday, and we kind of scouted it out. We were able to get back inside. So since we determined that we could get inside, we went back to the car, got our equipment, and got ready to film it. Well, we walk inside the door, front door is open, and we get inside, close the door, and we noticed that immediately some things that were in that room, like the viewing room or the living room, however you want to call it, was moved around since we were last there. There was items that were in a different position, and some items that weren't even there originally that were there now. And within a few seconds, in a back room, we heard, what was it, like a radio?
I believe it was like a radio station saying like the store will be open till 9 p.m. at night.
Yeah, and the weird thing is this house, even though it's a funeral home, we found out that it's been closed or like abandoned since the early 2000s. The family passed away, and it was actually sold to, I believe, either a company or individual who's just letting it sit there. but there's no power to the house. No one's been living there for at least a decade. And when we went the first time, we went through the whole house. No one was in there, no power, nothing out of the ordinary, just lots of personal possessions left behind, and it was, including the embalming equipment in the basement. But when we went this time, we heard that radio playing in like a room that was maybe about 10 or 15 feet away. And our first hunch is there's someone in here, we got to get out. So we ran out of the house, closed the door, went back to the car, and kind of gathered our thoughts to kind of think what did we encounter in there. So to this day, we don't know exactly what it was. Our best guess is that we did come into someone that was staying there, squatting in the house or doing something illegal in there. As to how the radio was playing, honestly, we don't know. I think it was maybe a battery-powered radio, but we didn't go to investigate to see what it was because we didn't have any weapons on us at the time. We didn't know who was in there or how many people. So there's two scenarios that would make sense with this. Either someone was in there, like we mentioned, or someone knew that we were in there the first time and set up a type of trap to lure us in case we or someone else returned. And if we went into that room, there could have been a video camera in there, could have been anyone in there, and we don't know what we're going to get ourselves into. So we just decided, okay, it's best to just leave the situation the way it is and come back to it at a future time, which our plans are to return in the future in the winter time. If the circumstances are that there's someone squatting in there, most likely there won't be anyone in there in the winter time because it's just too cold. There's no way to heat yourself in there. So to this day, we don't know what it was we encountered, but we definitely clearly heard a radio and a commercial playing. But it's unexplainable because no power. We couldn't see who was in there, where it was coming from. But it just was too risky to stay in there and find out for ourselves. It could have been a setup, it could have been a sting, could have been anything. Could have been someone on drugs that was, high as a kite, we don't know. So that was a weird scenario. Now, worst case scenario, if we can't get back in there, we both have a lot of photos from that place. I can make like a slideshow type of video and do it like a voiceover explaining what we saw. But we're going to try and get back there in the coming months once it does get colder. Anything you want to add to that? Get this fire
I think pretty much just, it was typically a band. Everything in the fridge was moldy. Like we popped the fridge open, it was just black and mold and all this. Even in the basement, it was mold down there. So it was definitely abandoned for a while. But it was neat to, like, the person I looks to like they passed away in the house. All the care stuff was still there for that person.
Yeah, I think I had a lift chair in there, right?
Yeah, had a lift chair for going down the stairs because I had two sets of stairs to it. A lot of kids' toys too. Well, that's like every place we go. There's always kids' toys.
Yeah.
Nice night for a fire.
Fires stay going. All right, one thing I want to pass along too, if at any time tonight you guys have any questions for us individually, just address it to us personally, like Jay or Mike. That way we can answer your questions. If there's a question that we don't see that you asked already that we maybe missed, feel free to ask it again. I know there's a lot of people watching tonight, and we're going to try and answer as many comments as we can. Yeah, cemetery is actually one that Mike was telling me about not too far from him that has like a really old section to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that may be something we can make a video about or maybe a live stream from into this Halloween time, so we could probably make that happen. try my best to keep the fire going. It's a losing battle, but for the time being, it's working out. Okay, what do we got next here? Service station in the backwoods.
Yeah, I've never got any weird feelings like that place. That place is just it gave me a heavy chest. It was the weirdest. It was the weirdest thing.
Yes, we're in Pennsylvania. Okay, so yeah, the next place we're talking about is called Service Station. No, sorry, Backwoods Abandoned Service Station. We filmed that a few months ago. And if you remember that video, it has an old camper on the property, and it had like the blue stove and refrigerator inside of it. And we found some of the weird skeletons inside the service area. But that place gave us a really weird vibe, a weird feeling. And it's Mike's first encounter to feel like that. I felt it before, but not so strongly as I have in that place. Basically, what it boils down to, it's an old abandoned service station. It's located in like the countryside, so it most likely was used to service like farm equipment, stuff like that, farmers' vehicles. It's been empty for a long, long time. And when we saw it, it has some really weird tarps. It almost gave it like a circus tent type of vibe. There's tarps hanging everywhere. We got into the back part of it, which was kind of an empty room with some like barrels and stuff like that. And walking through there, it almost felt like someone was watching me. And it gave me like a really off-putting vibe, like a feeling that something bad happened there, or that we shouldn't be there. And I felt that feeling before, but like I said, this place gave it off the most. And people criticize me saying, "Oh, I'm just saying that to try and get more, views or, as clickbait." I don't do that type of stuff. I'm honest in my videos. I tell it like it is. And if there's something I feel or that I see or I want to describe to you, it's pure honesty for me. So not only did I feel that feeling, but Mike felt it as well. I mean, if you want to describe where you were or how you felt when you're in there.
It was pretty much just like Jay was saying. It was kind of like a circus tent. It's like they had all these banners and stuff that were just hanging and draping, and it was just you go back there. It was just like a very heavy feeling. It was, I don't know. It was just so weird. Like I said, I never felt anything like that before. I told them that on the way out, but it was bizarre.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like when we do locations together, we don't typically stay, right next to each other. We kind of do our own thing when we check out places. So we might be in the same room or same building, but we're in different parts of the room, different parts of the building, kind of checking out at our own pace. So when I felt that feeling, Mike had no idea about that. I had no idea that he felt that. But after we talked about it afterwards, we basically agreed that, hey, we both felt the same way. So whatever happened there, I don't know if there's something involving kids or, murder or torture, but, seeing the bones there was one thing. Seeing the toys there was another. There's no reason for toys to be in a place like that. But again, just the feeling that something bad happened there, it just all added up to not being a very pleasant experience to be there.
Bonnie, yes, we did experience seeing someone as well. We'll tell you about that one as well.
Yeah, we'll save that for last. Let's see. Okay, so, yeah, okay, we talked about the second scenario, funeral home. Okay, next one's going to be Grossinger's, which is the abandoned resort in the Catskills. That was filmed not too long ago. We aired it probably about a month ago. Definitely a favorite of you guys. You really enjoyed that video. Had the huge indoor swimming pool, and we've found lots of buildings there. Got the drone footage, before and after photos. Well, partway through our exploration of that place, we were in the main building where the swimming pool was. We got done filming the swimming pool. We decided we're going to head back downstairs the way that we came and head out to a different building. Well, where I say we were maybe a couple hundred feet away from the pool, which was above us and off, a little bit of ways. It's hard to explain, but we were basically in a basement and about 100 feet away from the pool area. Well, as we're about to leave that room that we're in to head to the outside to another building, we heard what would sound like someone smashing glass in the pool area, but it sounded almost like very violent. If I was to picture it, it sounded like someone with like a sledgehammer banging a mirror or banging a wall and just smashing glass. And it didn't happen once or twice. It was about 4 or 5 solid hits right in a row. And we were in that area not less than 10 minutes ago. I should say not more than 10 minutes ago. And that kind of freaked us out at the moment because we thought, okay, maybe someone knows we're in here and they're looking for us or they're trying to scare us out of here. We didn't know. It was under a construction. It was actually a construction site. They had a lot of the areas roped off, fenced off. They were starting to tear part of the resort down, which most of it's already gone by now. But when we got there, as far as we knew, we were the only ones there. But we heard that. We basically just stood there quietly for a few moments to see if it was going to happen again. And it was one of the few times I wasn't recording. I was walking with the camera because it was just a dark, dingy basement room, lower level of a building, and there was nothing exciting to film. So I turned the recording off, and then that's when it happened. So I turned the recording back on. Didn't happen again. So I don't know who or what caused that. We thought maybe it was just glass falling, but it sounded like, if you agree or not, it sounded like someone hitting it.
Yeah.
And it sounded deliberate. Like it was a few solid, heavy hits. So we decided, okay, we don't want to stick around and see who it is. It could be police, could be construction people, it could be anyone. So we decided to get out of that building and get on the other side of the property, and that's what we did. But definitely that was a strange encounter because it was broad daylight. It was in the afternoon, or not afternoon, but late morning, I'd say it was. And it just kind of changed the whole feeling for the rest of that exploration. We headed to the main lobby next, and you could tell in my voice I was talking much quieter, sounded a little bit more tense and nervous because we don't know if they were going to follow us or if someone was kind of setting us up for something. So it made for a unique experience, but thankfully we didn't encounter anyone. The only thing that happened is when we first got there, we were which was underneath the ice skating building, I should say. There was golf carts in there and stuff, and within 5 minutes of being there, a white construction vehicle went by the road, right up the road next to the building, not only 50 feet away from us. I was headed towards where I parked my car, which is up by the golf course. And within 5 minutes, the truck came back down. So I don't know if they didn't see my car or didn't really care that we were up there, but that was the only encounter that we had visually. But the glass smashing really made for, it basically changed our what am I trying to say here? Changed our feeling on the place.
You're always looking behind you, and
Yeah.
morning, Renee.
Morning.
Morning. Must be in a different country.
How long is what? You mean the live stream? Let me get a little bit more water right back.
England. Jeez. Yeah, how long is the live stream?
Oh, there's no definite answer on that. It's whenever it ends.
Thank you, Christine.
If you want, tell them about your channel in case they don't know.
Oh, I'll tell everyone that's watching. Since Jay's always doing the videos, I'm always in the background, as you guys know, always taking pictures. I don't do any of the videoing at all. I'm always just taking snapshots of everything. So I do take a lot of pictures on a lot of stuff that Jay also doesn't see. So if there's something I see in like a lot of these resorts we go in, he would pick one side, I would go on the other. I would take some pictures, or if I saw something pretty neat, I'd tell him, and vice versa. We would check it out. So I did start my own channel. It's called Good Day for Decay, and it has a slideshow of the pictures from the places that we've gone to. I've got 3 up there so far. I will have a 4th one coming out probably within I'd say probably Monday I'll have the 4th one coming out. But definitely check it out.
Yeah, and the good thing about what he's doing is that it gives you a whole different perspective of what we see. You watch my videos, you see what I see through the camera, but Mike a lot of times sees things that I miss, or he'll point out things I may have oversaw. And it's basically because I'm focused on trying to, keep the camera steady, make sure my narration is good. So him showing what he's seeing in his own eyes through the slideshow is a great addition to what we do together. And I think it really adds to not only your viewing experience, but also, helps piece the story together. We kind of most times put the information as to when it closed, what used to be there, when it operated. We give as many details as we can. And a lot of times photos can speak 1,000 words, showing something that's, rotting and decaying compared to me showing the camera at it and talking about it, gives you a whole different vibe and feel. So I'm really, I really stand behind him doing this. I'm the one I kind of actually encouraged him to do it because I said, you're there with me. You take 100 pictures. You take 100 pictures, and there's no one there to really experience them except you and your family. So I think it's a great thing that he's doing, and hopefully you guys head over there, subscribe to his channel. It will be linked down below later on in the description of this video and upcoming future videos. And again, it's called Good Day for Decay. Yeah, we're going to readjust our chairs here. Hang on a second.
A little smoky. There we go.
Okay, it's a little better. Yeah, we're getting smoked out there. You good?
Yep. Okay. I saw there was one that said, "Are we ever scared of seeing bodies or crack houses or something like that?" You never know what you're walking into some of these places. We always. You never go alone. That's one thing. Don't go alone. Make sure you have lights and stuff. And
we also, 9 times out of 10, especially larger locations, we do carry protection on us. Either a knife or pepper spray or something else. We at least have something on us. It also helps too that we're not exactly small, frail guys. So if anyone was to be there, I think they maybe would second guess trying to do anything. We're not there to start trouble. We don't care what other people's intentions are if they're there, but it is a real concern though. A lot of places we've been, more so than ever, I've encountered lots of personal possessions being there, like basically remnants of squatters being there. We don't know if we missed them because, like most people, you go outside during the day, to do your work or shopping or whatever it is. You come back to your house at night to sleep. Most of the places we go to are during the daytime, especially morning time. So if anything, we're very lucky to not encounter anyone at those times. So we're going at a good time. But you can definitely tell there are remnants of people being there. There's even a video coming out in the near future from the Iron Temple Theater. And I filmed that almost 2 years ago. And when I was there, I found stuff, a mattress, clothing, other things that someone was staying there. Well, me and Mike went there not too long ago because he wanted to check it out. I basically did like an update video, and we found even more stuff there. Some candles set up that were partially burned, more clothing items, food wrappers, all kinds of stuff like that. Excuse me. Finding a body though would be a worst case scenario because it'd probably be an image I'd never be able to get out of my head. That's not something I'd ever want to see. It's a very real concern, and I understand the risk and responsibility with what we do, but obviously we're there to document, and preserve these historic locations, not to stir up any kind of criminal activity or encounter the wrong type of people. But I'm sure it does happen, but thankfully it hasn't happened to us yet.
And we don't break and enter. If we can't get in a place, you don't go in. It's we don't stage nothing there. We don't set stuff up to take pictures. It is just how you see it on the camera is how we see it. We don't, like some people set stuff up. We don't do that.
Yeah, I mentioned, I went into more detail last week on the live stream. I'm not going to dive as deep, but in case anyone wasn't watching last week, I do get a lot of flack from people, they're typically known as trolls, who say, we broke and enter, we're stealing items, we're trespassing, we're staging it, we're clickbaiting the videos. People like Adam T and others that have been watching me for a long time know that I'm the real deal. I'm a 37-year-old man. I don't have time for games, drama, trouble with people. I go out there, do my thing, and share it with you guys. And there's plenty of places that we've encountered that were locked up, and we simply just moved on to the next one because we don't condone breaking and entering. Even though, it can be considered trespassing, the places that we're going to, though, aren't watched after. There's no one there to take care of it. They're basically like put in the back of someone's mind. It's the last thing they really care about in today's world. So the places we go to, we're not, there and having the chance of someone walk in on us, because the places we go to have been abandoned for, at the very earliest, years, if not decades. So as he mentioned, we don't break and enter. If it's not open, we just keep moving on. As you saw in the Homowack Resort, that was heavily posted and fenced off. We didn't go in there. We just did drone footage. And, we don't condone anyone to do this. If you ever had thoughts of doing this, we can't stop you, but take our advice and do things safely. Don't go alone. Bring a weapon with you if you have one, even if it's a pocket knife. And just be respectful. If you can't get into a location, don't break a window. Don't, break open the door. And don't take anything. We might look through the person's items in the house, but then we put it back the way we found it. We don't ruffle stuff up. A lot of the places are ransacked. That's not from us. That's from people that are in there stealing items, stealing copper, and we don't condone any of that, and that gives us a bad name. So just be respectful to the locations you go to, and understand that our videos are legitimately the real deal. They're honest. They're first person view. However I see it is how you see it, and nothing is set up or staged or trying to convince you it's anything other than what you're watching. Let me check in here, check up on the comments. Firing a stove. Thank you, Todd. I mean, we're trying to be examples for others out there. There's a lot of, most explorers I found are typically younger than us. And I understand that, curiosity gets to you and you want to do something that's kind of cool and a little bit, frowned upon by other people. But those people don't take the time to research the locations. They don't take the time to find the before photos. They don't take their time with the camera work. We do everything to the best of our ability, and hopefully, you guys enjoy what we share with you guys.
Good one on there. How often do you go to Canobas?
Right. I saw there's a $5 donation here. I think I missed that. Did you see that pop up at all?
I didn't see that one, no.
Oh, let's see. I am exploring more as well. Well, Rich Discoveries, thank you so much for that donation. That means a lot to me. And fall is here, yes, so I'm thankful for that, because fall means I won't be sweating nearly as much as I already do in my videos. Yeah, hoodies are a good idea. I have a bunch of t-shirts out right now that you could purchase, and I do have a hoodie of my own that has my channel name on it, but definitely upcoming fall season hoodies would be a good idea. Love the videos you do, like the last one was brilliant. Adrian, the last one, that was the vacation homes that we shared with you guys, and that all the credit goes to Mike for that one, because he found that, and it turned out to be a heck of a location. And honestly, we are shocked at the amount of attention that video is receiving. It's doing very well for a video that's been out for 3 days, and based on the feedback, we're going to be returning there in the wintertime when the foliage is gone, and we're probably going to do a live stream from that location so you guys can see the houses live when we see them. So that should be a pretty cool video and experience. All right, Lady Vamp, thanks for stopping by. Do have one more story we're going to share with you. I'm just trying to catch up on the comments here. Anyone who is stopping by, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Also to mention too, I mentioned it last week, but just to remind you guys, tomorrow we're going on another road trip, and we're headed to the Catskills of New York again. The smoke's going right in my eyes. We were there last time. We filmed, what did we film there? Grossinger's,
the
Homowack Lodge, and Brown's, which is Grandview Palace. That's the place with the leather couches and the really fancy hotel suites. Well, while we're there, we're also scouting out other locations for a return trip, which is going to be tomorrow. So we have 4 locations we're headed to tomorrow. 2 of them we definitely know we could get into. The other 2, we're not going to find out until we actually get there. So tomorrow is going to be a long but exciting and adventurous day. I'm going to share some photos, probably from various parts of our locations, on my JPVideos page. So on Facebook. So if you're not already following that page, follow it. The link's in the description. You'll see photos from usually my adventures, and at the very least, we'll get 2 videos out of it. Hopefully 4 if everything works out. Okay, so last one we want to talk about is actually Brown's Resort. Since I brought that up, it's just a coincidence. But excuse me, as you guys know, that was a video that I forget what I titled that video as, but it came out after Grossinger's and Homo Whack. But it had a thumbnail of the leather furniture, and it was the resort. It was initially called Brown's Resort, closed down, and it was repurposed into called Grandview Palace, which was condominiums and apartments, mostly for senior people, elderly people. Well, anyways, most of the resorts burned down from a fire in 2012. There's only about 3 buildings left. 2 of the hotel wings and the Jerry Lee Lewis Lounge that was still there. That was incredible to see that. Well, if you're facing the property from where our video started, on the very far left side and kind of lower in between the hotel wing and the road was sitting a house. It was heavily overgrown, and the house was actually all fenced in. There's chain link fence going all the way around it. No way to get in or out of it with a vehicle. And honestly, you can't really get past the fence unless you're looking for a specific spot that we found. And thankfully, someone already cut some of the links on the fence, so we're able to kind of bend it and get into it. So the house, I don't know who owned it. I think it was somehow related to the resort, maybe the owner's home. It's in fairly good shape, but definitely overgrown. Everything around it, the driveway, the yard, even going up the steps, the sidewalk, everything was overgrown. Hasn't been touched in years, it looks like. So we're walking, we got through the fence, we're going into the lower portion of the yard, and the house is up on a little bit of a hill on the right-hand side. So we walk straight in, which looked like to be an old driveway. We come to the house and we have to ascend this hill. It's maybe about, how high would you say, 10, 15 feet high?
Probably about that.
Yeah, it's a slanted hill, like a sloped hill, but it was overgrown, so it's kind of hard to get up it. So we took our time going up it, and it led us to the front porch, which had a railing on it, a wrought iron railing, a sidewalk going to it. And once you got on the porch, you could see a large living room window. And I don't think, did you even see what happened when I got up there, or not?
I didn't. I just saw as you said, I saw a shadow. I turned around and down the hill.
Okay. So I was up the hill first. Mike was behind me. And when I got to the front porch, I was quickly deciding which way we should go to try and get in the house to see if it was open. As soon as I step on the porch, I'm looking in the large window. Now, granted, it's daylight, but the house is dark. No lights on in the house. But you can see furniture in the house through the window. Well, there's a couch in that living room there. As soon as I get to the porch, a gentleman stood up from that couch. He sat up, turned around, and saw us on the porch. I said, Mike, there's someone in there. We got to get out of here. The guy starts walking towards the door. We literally ran down that hill, ran towards the fence. I turn around. The guy's on the porch saying something to us. He's leaning over saying, I don't know what he said. It's a very weird situation. He was an older guy. I want to say probably 60s or 70s. He was wearing like khaki dress pants, and he had a long sleeve shirt on, kind of clean cut, but definitely an older gentleman. And he's leaning out the porch, and it sounded like he said, "Can I help you, gentlemen, or is there something I could do for you?" And I turned around and I said, "Sorry, we didn't know someone was here." And from there, we're booking it away from him as quickly as you can. We didn't know if he had a gun or something. It sounded like he said something about cameras, or hope you know there's cameras here, or something like that. As to why he was in there, we really don't know. The place was, as mentioned, overgrown, chain link fence around the whole property. I don't think there's any power to the house. So I don't know if he was staying there as a squatter. I don't know if it was some type of setup for something else. I don't know if he lived there. I don't know what was going on, but that was the first time we ever encountered someone in a place that we are 99% sure was abandoned. And thankfully nothing happened. He wasn't obviously aggressive or anything like that. He was an older gentleman, but we don't know if he was the only person in the house. I didn't want to stick around to find out, but after leaving, part of me felt like asking him, "Hey, do you live here? Is this your house? Can you tell me anything about the property?" But I don't know if he belonged there. We sure as hell didn't belong there, and I didn't want to make a bad situation even worse. So that's the one and only time we actually encountered a live person. But again, as to why he was there, it made absolutely no sense. So that was definitely, I mean, I don't know about Mike, but it definitely startled me. And I said, we got to get the hell out of here. And we kind of power walked it back to our car.
Two grown men power walking.
Yeah.
Luckily, that was the last part of it too. We already.
Yeah, we filmed everything thankfully because we saw the house initially. We said, okay, we'll save the house till last. If we reversed that and did the house first, we never would have got the footage of that resort because we would have booked it out of there. Todd, yeah, right there with you. Thankfully, I already went to the bathroom, so.
And it wasn't a small fence. It was like a 8-foot tall fence.
Yeah.
It was a big like a stockade chain link fence, like they would use it, like if you're demolishing a place. It wasn't a little 6-foot fence you could jump over.
Tracy, yeah, I could have used you guys as bodyguards that day because I don't know what we were gonna find, but thankfully, it ended peacefully. But I was just afraid he was gonna pull out a shotgun like an old farmer. Get off my property, Mike needed to check his pants. The only thing I wish I could have done differently is what I need to do anymore is have the camera rolling all the time, because with missing that sound of the smashing glass and Grossingers and not seeing that gentleman in that house, that's stuff that you could have seen in the video. And anymore, I'm going to make sure I'm filming almost the entire time. Might look nothing will happen again, but just in the small chance it does, I want to be able to at least give you guys, even if it's a snapshot or a screenshot of it. Jesus. Hang on a second. I think I have to move back over there.
Okay.
We're getting chased away by the smoke here. I'll just check up on your comments here. My voice is relaxing. I actually can't stand the way I talk on here, but I'm glad you enjoy it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that Nesbitt experience. It's unfortunate that it happened. If it's a meth lab, he's got to be probably the oldest meth dealer I've ever met or encountered. Yeah, as to how he got in the house, I really don't know, because no car, there's no signs of even like someone walking back and forth on the path. It was overgrown and it looked like someone. I really am at a loss of words as to how he was in there and why he was in there. I go back and relive that experience. Well, if I go back, I have to bring some bodyguards with me. So Adam and Tracy, we're going to have to do another road trip, I guess, or plan for a road trip. All right, as you can see, I'm losing the battle with the fire, so I'm not going to bother trying to keep it going. Let me know when road trip. If you guys have any questions for us, it's an open forum right now. You guys are welcome to ask us anything you'd like related to our videos or anything else, as long as it's not too personal, obviously. But it's the first time we're doing a live stream together, so it's kind of a golden opportunity to talk to us both live. If you have any questions or anything you want to pass along, the floor is yours, so to speak.
No, police never question us. Well, at least on my time.
Maybe who was dead? Am I missing something here? I got questioned twice, and it wasn't when I was with Mike. Wasn't with me at these times. One was at an abandoned mansion in Easton. I found it on a website about abandoned locations in Pennsylvania. So myself and Jill, we drove down there, and it's behind this old abandoned warehouse. So we had to park along the road, and it's actually right by the Delaware Canal system, Delaware Canal State Park. I filmed a video on that, but it's basically right across the street from there. Anyways, we're walking behind the warehouse, and there's a cop car sitting there. my first gut instinct was, you got to be kidding me. We drove all the way down here and now we're not going to be able to do this. So the cop sees us, rolls down the window. We walk up to him. I'm carrying my camera gear. It was cold at the time, so I had a hoodie on. I had a black hat on. I didn't look the most professional. You know, I looked like I was going to rob the place, you know, but I had my camera gear with me. And he goes, can I help you guys? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm not sure if it's a problem, but we, you know, came to check out this house back here. You know, I said, we check out abandoned places, and I just want to take some photographs and video. I said, do you have any problem with that at all? He goes, no, I don't care. Go ahead. I said, you sure? He goes, yeah, as long as you're not, he goes, you know, as long as I see that you're not, you know, teenagers going to smoke weed or anything like that. He's like, I don't care. He's like, just be careful. So that was really cool of him to not only give us the green light to go and do it, but he was, you know, understood that we were there with good intentions. So that was one scenario. Another one, which was prior to that, was at the Unity House Resort. It's the same place where the video was filmed, where I fell through the floor in the farmhouse. Well, myself and Jeff Grant Media were there. We filmed that. Just got done filming everything, and I was getting ready to do some drone footage. Well, as we're walking through the property, headed back to our car, which was quite a distance away, we heard a horn beeping in the background, like somebody laying on the horn. And we could hear us moving around different places throughout the property. And finally, he comes around the corner, laying on the horn, speeds up to us in this, I think it was in a pickup truck, I think it was. And he gets out. He's an older guy, probably in his 40s or 50s, I'd say, but super aggressive. What the F are you guys doing here? And I said, oh, we're just taking some pictures. He goes, didn't you see that gate out there? This property is off limits. I said, yeah, we saw the gate, but we parked in front of it. And I guess he thought I was being a smartass. He's like, well, didn't you see the gate? I said, yeah, that's why we didn't drive in. We parked by the gate. I said, we're just taking some photographs. I said, we didn't take anything. We didn't touch anything. I have the right mind to call the cops on you guys. You guys are nothing but punks. I said, sir, I'm a 37-year-old gentleman. I was 36 at the time. I said, we're here. You can check us. All we have is camera equipment. We're not here destroying anything. We didn't vandalize. I said, we simply took pictures. I said, I saw the gate, and we assumed it was for the property next door, because right next to it was a outdoor amphitheater. And I legitimately thought the gate was for that property. It was the same driveway that went to it, but it was closed because it was the winter time. So I said, we parked at the gate. We just walked in. Property wasn't posted. It just said to keep out, which we thought was for the amphitheater, which is still used. And he was just, you know, screaming at us, throwing the F-bomb around, you know, trying to be confrontational with us. And we're just being super nice as can be. I mean, Jeff is a pretty soft-spoken guy, you know, so he's just like, sir, you know, we're not doing anything wrong here. You know, we're not trying to do anything wrong. We're not trying to upset you. And I just kept telling him, you know, listen, we're leaving. We're not trying to cause any disturbance. He goes, well, I'm the groundskeeper here, and I keep chasing people out of here. He goes, I'm making sure you're leaving right now. I said, okay, we're leaving. And he sat there and waited till we packed up our gear and left. And unfortunately, wasn't able to get the drone footage I wanted, but at least I got the footage for the video itself. So that was a close call. I thought for sure we were going to get in trouble there. But any other place, we haven't really encountered anyone. I've seen neighbors, you know, watch me go into places, but no one's ever said anything. Like I said, I'm not there breaking windows. I'm not trying to smash in or kick in a door. So I'm not really drawing attention to myself. I do use common sense. If something seems like it's not the right time, I don't do it right then and there. But basically, I mean, unless I get caught by an owner for destroying his property, I'm not really too concerned. I mean, I have received a trespassing fine once for a school that I didn't even go into. I only went on the property and took photos, and I think I mentioned that story before. Someone contacted the owner and told him I was there, and I thought I was doing them a favor. I showed drone footage of the place. I showed the condition of the building, the roof, and for whatever reason, they freaked out about me being on their property, thinking I was going to sue them, and I got hit with a trespassing fine for that. But I'm okay with that, though. I mean, like, I didn't go to jail. I didn't get my gear, you know, reprimanded. Not reprimanded. What am I trying to say? What's that when the police take something off you? Like confiscate. Yeah, nothing got confiscated. So I was able to keep the video on and monetize it, and this smoke is killing me right now. All right, I think we're going to finish this video up on the patio, because every time we move our chairs, the smoke keeps blowing in our eyes. So give me a moment here. We're going to get reestablished. Huh?
I want to say hi.
And Lily's up there.
Hello.
That's my daughter Lily's toy channel is her channel. She's hanging out tonight. All right, give me a moment here. I'm gonna get everything situated, so just be patient. Oh, Sparky, thank you so much for that. Definitely need a pair of running shoes. Okay. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, now you can see us, so at least there's no smoke in our eyes right now.
Yeah, Adam about the usually going different places. If like when we go in resorts, like Jay will go on one side of the rooms, I'll hit the other side, and normally if there is something in the room it's like you got to check this out, so I'll usually tell him so he can check it out, or he'll do the same for me. But we normally, as we're there, we tell each other, if there's something good or whatnot to see.
Mark Cooper, let me see. Yeah, myself and Cliff have been in touch with each other. I saw your comment. I saw his video about the new mining helmet. I actually ordered myself a helmet. It's not a mining helmet like his. It's more of a hard hat, but it's something that's definitely needed for what we do. I also ordered walkie-talkies, so someone like Mike or Cliff's friend John could wait outside and be in contact with us. I think Cliff also ordered a multi-gas meter, and I'm getting another light too, and I have a new headlamp as well. So we're getting lots of gear situated, and we're going to be doing definitely one, possibly two mine explorations sometime next month. We have 2 locations planned for one day, and I think we have another 2 or 3 locations planned for another day. It's just not going to be enough time in one day to do all of them. One of them he knows about, the other 3 I know about, and one of them I actually explored a few days ago. Mike was with me. I didn't share that video yet, but I went in there to an abandoned mine, and it was some really crazy conditions in there, and I didn't feel comfortable going very far by myself, so I retreated, and I'm going to share the video with you guys in the near future, probably next week maybe. And I shared the photos with it to Cliff, and he wants to join me in that one, so that will be one of the probably 4 or 5 locations that we're going to be doing together. So if you guys like those joint adventures, there's definitely more of them coming out. Hey, Jenny and Brett. If you guys aren't aware, Jenny and Brett are YouTubers. They're also from Pennsylvania. They do a lot of vlog videos. They also do some abandoned stuff, and they are actually at our YouTuber meetup at the Ellenwood, I should say Elvira Bunkers, when we had that not too long ago. So check out their channel. They put out a lot of cool, fun videos. Just scrolling through your comments here, so just give me a moment.
Our donation.
Yeah, I saw that from Sparky. Much appreciation from him. Kids running sneakers. It's funny that you said kids. I was actually in a place today, in an abandoned house, and there's a kid sneaker on the ground. It looked like Converse, but it said kids on it, so it's kind of funny that you mentioned that. Hello, Barbara. Thanks for joining me tonight. All right, Jason, have a good one. I do have boots. I'll definitely be wearing boots tomorrow. Sparky, we do have a meetup. It's not really no details finalized yet, but it will be coming up before the winter time. I want to say probably November. We were initially thinking around October for like a Halloween type event, but I don't think there's gonna be enough time to get it situated. But we're working on getting a location of an old abandoned school in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania. Cliff and Jay Drone actually know the owner of it, and we're trying to get that set up so we can have a meetup inside the school.
Dad,
What?
can I say something?
No. Elizabeth, we did touch on that before. We did encounter a gentleman at the one resort we went to in a house, and we kind of got away from that situation very quickly. But we have come across a lot of remnants of people staying there, but we just kind of aren't seeing them right at the time we're there, which is a good thing. Debbie said hi, Lily.
Oh, hi.
She says hi.
Drop a like on the video if you haven't already.
Hello, Amy Kruger. Sorry if I mispronounced that. We do have respirators, so don't worry about that. We will be bringing them with us. I actually had to order a new one because the one that I got doesn't fit my face. As you can see, I have a humongous face, and it only covers like a small portion of it, so it's not really effective. Fits Mike perfectly, but not me.
Which might have worked well in the last place we did with the fire.
Yeah. Putting a fan at the entrance of the mine, well, that takes electricity for one, and the mines typically don't go in a straight path. And the one mine we're going to, I brought Mike to it the other day. There's probably about maybe 10 knots of wind coming out of it, a huge blast of cold air. So it's not going to really be effective to put a fan at the entrance of a mine. Barbara says hi, Lily.
Hi.
She says hi. Horseshoe Curve, yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see that. I'd like to get there myself sometime. Go down to Texas. Well, the only thing I heard in Texas is that people shoot first and ask questions later, so I don't know if we want to do that or not. And one other thing I'm going to pass along before we wrap up the live stream, I'm actually going to mention it in one or two upcoming videos. I don't want to be too repetitive about it, but I do want to make you guys know that it is something that I want to share with you. Every so often I get asked by viewers like yourself if I have a P.O. box or if I have a way for yourself to make a contribution to myself or my channel. I don't have a P.O. box. What I do have is called a Patreon page, and it's a place where you could basically go to donate to support your favorite YouTubers like myself. And as you know, going to these locations, you know, it costs money. Traveling, especially gas. Gas these days is not cheap. Just a perfect example. Tomorrow we're going to Catskills, New York. It's an hour and a half away, and we have 4 locations to go to. We're going to be gone probably a total of 8 to 10 hours, and it's going to use up, you know, probably over close to 3/4 of a tank of gas. Now, I've never asked for people to donate, and I'm not saying you are obligated to. Obviously, there's no obligation at all. If you're a subscriber of mine and you like my videos, I mean, that right there is good enough for me. But just want to put it out there that there is options if you do want to donate. And I am making incentives for you. There's 2 tiers which I created. The first tier is from $2 up to $9.99. Basically, if you donate within that, I hate when I lose my, yeah, within that range, within that price range, you'll get exclusive access to posts, photos, and videos of upcoming projects. So, for example, you know, things we're working on tomorrow. I'm going to share 1 or 2 photos on my Facebook page, but I'll share many more on the Patreon page. And the only way you can see those posts is if you donate and become what's called a patron. You could donate one time for 1 month, or you could set up a monthly recurring donation. Again, anywhere from $2 up to $9.99. The second tier is for $10 and over. If you donate over $10, you'll not only get the same access as the first tier, but you'll also have your name shared on some of my future upcoming videos as a patron member. So those are some incentives for you guys if you want to donate, help with our travel expenses. No obligation, not asking to do it, but if you want to, the option's there. All you have to do is go down to any description in my video, click on the link for the Patreon page, and just follow the directions from there. It's very simple, and it takes only a few moments, and it'll be greatly appreciated and gives you the exclusive access to things that others won't be able to see until the video is actually published. So it'll be almost like a sneak peek. So again, I'm not going to be too repetitive about it. I am going to mention it in 1 or 2 upcoming videos, and then from there on out, you know, whatever happens, happens. I'm very thankful though for all my supporters and for my subscribers. And for tonight, we're averaging around 60 viewers tonight, which is a nice average for me. Based on the amount of subscribers I have, I would hope it would be more, but it seems like every time I do it, the numbers do get higher. So I know a lot of it has to do with YouTube algorithms. Sometimes the notifications don't get sent out in a timely manner, and other times people are just busy and stuff like that, which is understandable. But I do leave my live streams up, so hopefully, you know, you get it as a notification and can watch it as a replay. Let's see if there's anything else here. Abandoned convents. You know any?
No.
Ghost gear. I do have ghost equipment. I have done a few ghost hunts. I have a K2 meter, temperature gun, a spirit box, the laser grid, and
Flashlight.
yeah, the flashlight. It's a mag light. I've done 3 ghost hunts. One of them was with Mike in the abandoned
Slaughterhouse.
slaughterhouse. And I did 2 of them with Jeff. One was at Concrete City, which was pretty interesting. He didn't have as much gear with me there. And then we went to the Avondale mine disaster in Anacoke. And there we got some pretty cool experiences with the flashlight going off by itself. And I do have more than planned. It's not something I'm going to really focus on, but I do like to incorporate it from time to time. And speaking of which, somebody mentioned about cemeteries, and I said we're going to probably do one for October. So that may be another place where I could bring some of that equipment and do another either live stream or just a dedicated video to that experience. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Alakis. Sorry if I mispronounced it, but thank you for enjoying my videos. Lily Nesbitt Experience says hi. She says hi faintly. ESP. I do have a bucket list, so to speak, of abandoned places. One of them being a church, one of them being a school, and one of them being a funeral home. Funeral home we got into, but I didn't film it yet, so I can't officially cross that off the list yet. School, I almost got into one, but I ended up getting locked up last minute. And a church, I haven't been able to find one that's been accessible. I know of a few abandoned ones, but they're locked up tight. There's a small chance tomorrow, the one location we're going to, though, does have a church, as far as I could tell from some photos and older videos on the property. So I may be able to cross that item off tomorrow at one of our locations. All right, Todd, have a good night. Old cemeteries in Pennsylvania. Well, let me ask you guys, I mean, for the cemeteries, do you like me to just, walk around and show you the headstones? Or is there something in particular that you like to have me show you guys in the cemeteries? Or do you want more live stream from cemeteries or ghost hunts? Let me know what you guys like. That way I could try and make that happen for you. Hello, Perry. Lily, they want to know when they get to see another video of you, and they want to know if you have anything coming out soon.
Well, I'm going to the Bloomsburg Fair, and I'm going to be making a video there, so get ready for that. And I might have another upcoming video of like toys and all that, so get ready for that too.
Okay, Lily says to get ready because we're going to the fair on Monday, Bloomsburg Fair. It's one of the largest fairs in Pennsylvania. She's going to make a video there, probably of her playing some games and stuff like that. So she said, be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. Glad you love the videos. Sparky, thanks for that, mentioning that. A lot of people aren't aware of Patreon, so I do try and make people aware of it and help support others as well. So I do appreciate that support greatly. Native Grammy. Well, glad you get to see me, and thanks for loving the videos. I don't have a contest yet, Sparky, but I'm glad you mentioned that, though, because I could make people aware of it. I think as of today, I'm at 38,000 subscribers. I'm going to be doing one of my largest giveaways when I hit 50,000 subscribers. I'm going to have 3 items I'm going to be giving away for one contest. So there's going to be 3 winners. And once I hit 50,000 subscribers, I'm going to make that video letting you know how you can enter. It's going to be very cut and dry and simple. I'm probably going to let this contest run for a little bit longer just because there's more people now that aren't aware that I do contests and giveaways. And it's going to be 3 different items. So I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to enter that contest. But once I reach 50K, be on the lookout for that video. And you'll be able to have a chance to win one of 3 pretty cool items. Oh, if I can find catacombs, I'm just going to put a hat on and call myself Indiana Jones. A haunted school, that'd be pretty awesome. Oh, Nesbitt, there's a couple of videos coming out that you will enjoy some antiques and vintage items. Especially today, I went to film with a friend, and the house I think was empty since the 80s, and everything in there is basically predating the 80s. Old medicine bottles, toys, clothing, the old vinyl Halloween costumes. It's pretty amazing when you see this place. So that'll be out in a few weeks, but definitely going to be more coming out. Old cemeteries are better. I agree with that. Nice headstones and then would be good. Okay. Definitely gonna keep the cameras rolling. I do know of a couple old cemeteries. Mike's gonna show me one by his house. There's one in Wilkes-Barre. I forget the name of it. It's a really old cemetery. There's a back section that is pretty outdated. It's actually near another abandoned location. It's the Dorrance Fan House. That's on the same property as the cemetery. So if you guys want more cemetery videos for the upcoming Halloween season, I could definitely make that happen for you guys. There's plenty of them around here. There's actually one straight across the mountain, about maybe half a mile to 3/4 of a mile away. It's on a hillside. It's kind of not really visited too often. That's one that's maybe a 10-minute drive from my house. Hello, Fallen Angel. Thanks for joining me tonight. Pet Cemetery. 1300s. Yeah, that's very old. The oldest one I saw was at the Elvira Bunkers. At the one cemetery there had some 1700s dates on them. Here, come here, say hi. Here's Lily.
Hello, and Fox is here.
She's hanging out tonight, listening to our live stream.
Yeah. Making sure it goes well.
Lewis Cemetery. Yeah, funny thing with that, Mark, I actually had to take that video down. Believe it or not, I got email from a woman who basically was contacting me for one of the grandchildren of Albert Lewis. And I don't want to say her name, obviously, but she basically said that is private property and that I shouldn't have been there, and that I portrayed that property as being abandoned. And I said, I did everything but that. I said, I clearly said it's not abandoned. I said it is watched after, it's taken care of, and it's a very private but beautiful cemetery. I said nothing but good things about it. And I said there's even a church on the property that has service on Sundays. That's open to the public, so anyone's allowed to be there. The property wasn't posted. Neighbors around the property are saying, yeah, go ahead, check it out. This is where it's at. And even a business down the road from it even told me how to get to it. So I ended up emailing the woman personally. I basically apologized. I said I didn't mean to upset you. I didn't do anything disrespectful. I said if you watch the video again, you can clearly see and hear me say that it's not abandoned. It's taken care of. I'm showing respect to it. It's beautiful, but it's also being shared by neighbors and businesses. So I said, if you don't want people going there, like myself or anyone else, you may want to put some signs on the property. You may want to not have service on Sundays in the church, because she said she's the director of it. And you may want to tell the businesses not to disclose its location. So she was basically threatening some legal issues with me. So just for the time being, I did make the video private. I didn't delete it, but I did take it down just to avoid any kind of issues. I mean, honestly, I could have fought it if I had to and probably win, but I really don't have the money right now for a lawyer and to go to court just to share a video. So I will re-release it in the future, but right now I had to take that video down. Don't have a passport right now, but always able to get one if I need to. All right, Nesbitt, have a great night yourself. And just to mention too, if you guys aren't aware of her channel, head on over to her channel. She does a lot of tap dancing and dancing videos. Also does a lot of great soundtracks and some just cool footage of different locations. And she's a great dancer. So head on over to her channel, check out her channel and subscribe. Do they let you film in flea markets? Some people do, some don't. I attempted to do that once, and people didn't want me filming their stuff. And it was basically people that had like knockoff stuff, like knockoff watches and clothing and purses. They didn't want me filming. Others don't care, but I do get a lot of looks though from walking around an area that typically people don't have cameras. So I may be able to get away with it if I wear my camera sunglasses. But walking around with a camera kind of frowned upon in flea markets. Okay, so Fallen Angel and Paula says hi to you.
Hi.
Uh,
Foxy also says hi.
and Elena says she'll be looking for your video of the fear that you're going to something to look forward to. I don't know what that means. Lily with the live stream bomb. Hi, Lily. That's Adam T.
I'm here.
Yeah, I originally started in photography, so I love to get great photos, and I love doing long exposures. I actually have a video coming out showing you how to take photos like that with your smartphone. She looks like a daddy's girl. Yeah, she is. Well, Mike's wife says hi to Lily.
Hi.
Oh, Mike's been talking. You just caught him at the wrong time. One thing I'm surprised at. Elizabeth, I did encounter raccoons in the one place. They were right above me. I thought it was a person at first. And then I heard their like squeaking sound, but I kept my distance from them. Her channel, tell them your channel.
Lily's Toy Channel.
Yeah, you can find it on my recommended channels on my main page. Her channel's listed there as well as Mike's.
You know what, Daddy? Foxy wants to be in the video.
We have done some farms. We did 2 barns that were really cool. One had a weird pass to it. Which one was that? The one they call the beer cattle?
Yeah, the Hereford beer cattle.
Yeah.
Barn.
What was the name of that place, though, that barn? Remember?
Oh, what was his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That was a big barn.
Yeah. Hi, Foxy.
Foxy says hi.
Hello, Richard. We're doing pretty good tonight. Oh, she said you're quiet, so if you want to say anything, go ahead.
I'm quiet. Why am I quiet? What do you want? What do you want to know?
With the awkward silence.
My channel is called Good Day for Decay.
Yeah, if you guys go to my main page, on like not the video page, but my home screen on my channel, on the right hand side, I think check out these channels, and I have several YouTubers there, including Lily and Mike. So
Yeah.
you can find it there. But also, once this video is done, I'll link it up in the description.
What were my favorite locations? One of the past ones, Grossinger's was, I'd say, one of my top ones. Grossinger's and Brown so far. I mean, they're pretty. Brown, surprisingly, for only having 2 to 3 buildings, there was so much stuff left in them, from the fire. People just leaving and leaving their belongings behind, leaving their life behind. So it was pretty amazing to see all that stuff just being left there in rotten decay.
I think they have another question for you too.
Believe it or not,
He's a stalker.
I'm a stalker. I got a new iPhone, and I used to have the old, typing keyboard. And I got my new phone, and my wife was like, "You need to update." So I got an iPhone, and I started with YouTube, and then it just, always on watching YouTube, and I always just start watching Jay's videos. And I think it was about a year ago, he did a question and answer when he was on vacation.
Live stream, yeah.
A live stream. And I said, "Do you ever take anyone with you?" And he's like, "I'm not opposed to it. It's just, legal reasons, I just usually never did. So he said, well, I found a place and explored, and from there we just kept going to more and more and more, and now it's just we're doing a lot more.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing is because on a regular basis, I always have people reach out to me and say, hey, if you ever want someone to go with you, let me know, or you know, you mind if I come along with you to one of your videos or one of your adventures? And 9 times out of 10, they don't follow through with it. I've at first I'd be like, yeah, sure, give me your information, I'll contact you, and they either never get back to me, or they're like, oh, well, I don't know when I can find the time. So anymore, I kind of just blow it off. I mean, if I meet someone at a meetup or something, or we talk on a regular basis, or we talk off of YouTube, like say on Facebook or something, I would definitely consider taking you. If I feel that I can trust you. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, safety wise and legal wise, but I don't want to be held responsible for that. But if you're someone I could trust and I get to know, then I'm all for it. Like I've collaborated with other YouTubers. Hope to do that again in the future with some new people. I met some new YouTubers at their past meetup, which was awesome, like Wally B, Richard Wolf, a couple others I can't remember. Jenny and Brett, got to meet them in person, so that was really cool that I got to experience something like that. But what was the other thing? Centralia, PA. Have I ever been there? Many times. I personally have filmed probably 3 or 4 videos there. I did one video, which was probably my favorite one, where I did the full back history on it. I did drone footage. We showed all different parts of the town. Had a great soundtrack to it. So if you search Centralia JPVideos, they'll pop up. Or you can go into my playlist. I have one titled Centralia there. I also filmed the mayor's house that was there in Centralia that was abandoned. We did a live stream in Centralia where we found the smoke coming out of the ground. We also had a meetup there in March of this year at Centralia. So Centralia is a very popular and favorite spot of mine. Fortunately, not a lot to see there, but Graffiti Highway is a pretty awesome place because no matter when you go, there's always new pieces of graffiti there and art. Have you ever been there?
Never there.
Okay, so he's coming there pretty soon.
Always wanted.
Yeah.
Hello, Jen. Have any of the homes you all entered known to be Elizabeth? Not that I know of, at least. There was one house that Mike heard stories about that someone may have been killed there.
What?
We didn't mention it in the video because we don't have any hard proof or evidence. But there's rumors and things you hear about, but nothing that I really have anything solid evidence about that I could say, yeah, this took place here.
What?
Sparky, I definitely believe in that. I mean, you made it all the way down to Scranton from Canada, so you're a man of your word. I know that. Well, I don't know if we're normal, because not a whole lot of normal people go into these crazy places, but I guess in our eyes we're normal. Well, Jenny and Brett, you guys are welcome to come with us. I know you guys like to do the abandoned stuff. We're going to be headed to Shikshini coming this fall. There's some old abandoned coal mine remains there that I think Mike and myself are going to check out. So if you have any interest in joining us at all, to collaborate, just send me an email, or I'm not, sorry, email or message me on Facebook, whatever's easier for you. But definitely would like to get together with you guys and do some fun adventures.
Can I join you with that?
Possibly.
Yay!
I think someone asked before about the ever going in the woods, and we actually did in Shikshini.
Yeah, as far as woods we went to, it's called the Mackinac Loop Trail. That's I guess you could call it just like a walking trail, but it has some old ruins on it from, I think, an old coal mining business or something. It had a lot of foundations, and I actually found what looked to be like a prospect mine or a bootlegger's mine. If you just search Mackinac Loop Trail, my video will pop up on there. It's a pretty cool place. Corn farmer Matt. Well, thank you for that. Nothing really to be scared about exploring houses as long as you use common sense, you know. Make sure there's no one watching the house. Make sure there's no power to it. Make sure it's not locked up. Basically, if it's open and not posted, I say go in, check it out, and just be respectful of it. Okay. Oh yeah, that is right, Paula. That was, I think that was the, I think that was the meetup at Centralia. I did the live stream from there, and I was showing the headstones, and my car alarm just started going off randomly.
Is that good, fellas?
Adam, I know you mentioned it to me before. If you could do me a favor, if you could message me on Facebook, yeah, personal message, let me know the dates you're going there, and maybe myself and Mike could meet up with you. I know you're going in October for like a cleanup thing, so maybe we could join you for that. So let me know. Just send me a message.
Scotland.
Hello from Scotland.
What?
Centralia in Washington State. I never knew that. I know Centralia is nationally known, but I've only heard about the one in Pennsylvania. And it's only about an hour away from me, so it's kind of convenient for me to go there. Wintertime's the best though, because with all the foliage gone, you can see everything much better.
Because of this wildfire in Centralia, it's been in books about states.
Yeah, it's known for its history, the underground mine fire. We are going to what is called the Bloomsburg Fair. That's about 45 minutes away from me. It's one of the largest fairs in Pennsylvania. I look forward to it every year. We're going there Monday. I thought about live streaming from there like I did last year, but I'm going to film a highlights video. So I'm going to film just a little bit of everything from there, show you guys what there is to see and do some fun time lapses and stuff like that. So that video will be out. I'll put it out a little bit sooner than the others since the fair is going on, but Lily's going to film a video for her channel, and I'll film a video for mine. It's basically starting from morning right to nighttime. Should be a pretty fun time, and lots of good fair food. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to why.
Not afraid of the dark. You got lots of bright lights. Yeah, Norm, I wanted to get in touch with you. I took down your comment on that post because I'm sorry, on that video, because I didn't want people to know the name and try and go there themselves. So that was my reason why I took your comment down. But I would like to speak with you and get some more information about that. So I don't know which page is yours on Facebook. So you could go to my Facebook page, JPVideos. The link's in the description. And you can send me a message on there, and I'll message you back. I just didn't want to message the wrong person about it, but I did. Glad you commented, because I was looking to talk to you about that. Scotland has a lot of old coal mines and castles. Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing to explore some castles. Sparky, same here, and everyone watching, if you guys, I know some of you out there are a fan of like railroad stuff, model trains specifically. Sparky is dedicated and 100% a model train guy. He does a lot of great live streams, I think weekly live streams. He does giveaways, he does meetups. He's an all-around great guy. I met him at one of his meetups. He came all the way down here from Canada, met him and his family and a few of his followers. So if you guys are able to head on over to his channel, check out some of his videos, and subscribe. And if you know anyone that likes model trains, definitely recommend his channel. Fire is smoldering. The only thing going right now is some
Smoke.
tiki torches, right? You can see right behind us here. Is still on fire? Yeah, the mine fire is still on fire in Centralia. It's not under the town of Centralia now. It's moving away from it. They don't know which direction it's going to go, but they said there's enough coal there for it to burn another couple hundred years if it is able to. So, still going.
Get the coal out of there.
Hello from Oregon.
We got some good people.
Yeah, Madam T confirmed that. No longer under Centralia. Never heard of Hillendale. That's a new one to me.
I wish I lost weight.
Well, if you notice, we wear black a lot, so it makes us look slimming. Texas, Chainsaw Island, and Wisconsin. Never heard of that. Sorry about the focus. I'm tapping the screen to check the comments here. Yeah, Adam could probably confirm that. I think his name is Todd Dembowski. I think it was, I don't know the time frame. Adam could probably tell you more information about it, but there was a gentleman when he was still living in Centralia who actually fell into a sinkhole, and thankfully I think it was his brother or cousin rescued him from falling in. So Adam, if you have any information on that, feel free to share it.
I want to learn about that.
Well, I talked about it in my one video.
Oh, I want to watch that video then.
Let's see. You know, it's kind of funny. We got 50 some people watching and only about 10 people commenting. So what's everyone else doing?
Probably watching.
Oh yeah, we got one.
Yeah, we do have a steel mill we're going to be filming. We're going to wait for the foliage to go away. So sometime in the fall, we're going to go and film that. There's a few buildings there. I want to get some drone footage of it too, and I think we'll be able to document it the best once all the leaves are gone. So it's in northeast Pennsylvania, and it's been closed for a while, but it's a very large piece of property with some large buildings, and that should be a pretty cool place.
Probably fly the drone inside too.
Yeah.
So big.
Well, I didn't know there were so many towns with Centralia.
It's famous.
And obviously, with the Halloween season coming up, I already showed you the Spirit Halloween videos. But there's a few houses in the area, including Mike's, that decorates for Halloween time. He makes custom props with some basically homemade materials, right?
Yeah, PVC. I use all PVC pipe, windshield wiper motors, reindeer motors. I strip them down. I make my own stuff, because the stuff that you buy is junk.
Yeah, he's like the MacGyver of like props, because he could make anything out of anything. He's pretty talented when it comes to that. But there's a few other houses that I showed last year, but I could probably show more of them, including his if he wants, as I go to upcoming Halloween decorations video. So if you guys have any interest in that, let me know. Todd Dembowski fell through his grandmother's backyard. His cousin Eric Wolfgang saw his hunting cap, grabbed him, and pulled him out from the sinkhole. Thanks, Adam. I knew you had the information on that. And if you drive through Centralia today, though, you can see parts of the land where it was formerly on fire. There's a lot of burnt out, like dry areas, no trees, no grass, very little vegetation. But the main part, like Graffiti Highway, there's a large crack in the road. It's very well known, but steam used to come out of that years ago. Not anymore though, because it did move out of the way. Fire started in the 50s. Adam could probably answer that as well. Adam's a go-to guy when it comes to Centralia. He's very knowledgeable about that town. What time you got? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. We got a long day tomorrow, so any other thoughts, comments, or questions you guys have for either of us, or anything you want to share with us?
Someone said, what was your favorite experience?
Was that on here?
Yeah, me and you. I don't know, mine I think would have to be the Girl Singers Resort. I mean, it's just so massive. I think I'd say that was one of my favorites. And if it was a house, definitely the Hoarder House.
Favorite experience for mine, honestly, each one of them, I come away with some really great memories of them. I don't think I could really pick any one particular place I love more than the other. There's ones I obviously, have more items left over than the other, but I like the resorts a lot. But I think I like abandoned houses the most just because you get to see some really personal items in there. You got to see how the person lived. You sometimes get to see how they were raised, some of their items that they had. As you know, the one place they even found a car in their garage, the abandoned, what was it? I think a Lincoln. So the houses are really a favorite of mine just because it's so personal. Resorts are awesome just because they're so large and expansive and unique, but the houses are more individually personalized. And that's what I enjoy the most. Yeah, Elizabeth, just search JPVideos Hoarder House, and on the thumbnail has, I think, the Batman board game as the thumbnail. So look for that. House is unbelievable. Jen, good night, and Jen says good night to you as well.
Good night.
Okay. Next video will be out tomorrow, Jen. It's going to be a product review video of a really cool headlamp I mentioned in the last video, the last live stream. So that video will be out tomorrow if you want to check that out. Chainsaw Island is so haunted has been taken off the map. Oh. It's pretty awesome. Do I have my real estate license? No, I don't.
I'm going to bed.
All right, I'll see you in there.
Good night.
Bye.
Lily says good night. Did you used to explore pre-YouTube? That's a good question, actually. I think I talked about that once before. I've always been into checking out places you're not supposed to check out. Abandoned mines, abandoned buildings. I've always been curious of them. I haven't gone in a whole lot of them as a kid. I was kind of raised, don't break the law kind of thing. As I got older, though, I kind of just started doing it little by little. But I never really had the passion for it like I do now since I've been filming them. Just knowing that there's such an audience out there for them and seeing the things I've seen that many people have never saw before, it just really it draws you in for more. It leaves you wanting more. And pre-YouTube, I was into it, but never really, I guess you could say, dove into it as deeply as I have now. Like, I'm constantly driving around looking for places. Mike does the same. He's searching Google Maps. I'm checking articles. So we're always on the hunt for new places. But YouTube definitely fueled my passion for that.
Oh no.
Hmm?
It's not much problem.
All right, guys. Any last thoughts, comments, or questions? Now's your time to ask them. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up here and get some sleep for tomorrow.
Long day.
Yeah, looking forward to it, though. Initially, they were calling for some rain for tomorrow, but they changed that, and it's looking for some pretty favorable weather, comfortable temperatures, and sunny, so looking forward to that. Don't stop. Well, Matt, if we have nothing to talk about, it's going to be a pretty boring live stream. I will ask you a quick question, though, for those of you that are watching. If you guys want to see more, well, actually, let me ask Mike first. What's your thoughts on your first live stream? What do you think of this whole experience doing this?
Wasn't bad.
Something you enjoyed, or?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we got that answer. If you guys want to see more live streams of us together, we could probably do it on maybe a monthly basis. So if you want to see us together in some future live streams, let me know in the comments, and I'm sure we can make that happen. May 27, 1962. I thought it was in the 50s for some reason. Maybe I was mistaken with something else, but I take your word on that, Adam.
I think everyone's sleeping.
Yeah. Everyone fell asleep with their screens on. Anything else you want to put out there?
Check out my channel. Good day for decay. That's all I got.
All right, everyone. We're going to wrap up the video here. As mentioned earlier, check out his channel, Good Day for Decay. I will have it in the description as well as on my checkout channels page on my main YouTube channel page. Long day tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Again, if you're not a Patreon member, head on over there and consider donating to get some exclusive access to projects we're working on. Excuse me, a lot of the photos we take tomorrow will be shared on that page. I will share a couple on Facebook as well. So in the meantime, I always ask if you enjoy the live stream and my videos, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Not only is it free, it only takes a second, and it lets us know that you like the videos that we put out. And oh, phone froze. More live streams. Good night, Boyle. Subscribe to Mike's channel. That's right. As mentioned to anyone that's joining this live stream as a replay, if you're new to my channel or if you know anyone that might like my channel, tell them to subscribe and ring the notification bell. That way you don't miss any future uploads. And tomorrow's upload will be a high-powered headlamp portable flashlight that is a really amazing product. So if you guys are in the market for a new flashlight or a headlamp, or if you're into exploring and want some new lighting equipment, check out my video tomorrow. It's an amazing product. Mike saw it firsthand. It lights up some places that like there's no tomorrow. It's almost like having a searchlight on the. It's super powerful for how compact it is, and the price is, at least I feel, very fair for what you're getting with it. Anything else?
I don't mind. Mine is only half the power, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
For how small it is.
And then after that video, I think I'll be having my abandoned videos start rolling out from when I was in Maryland. There's 2 abandoned farms and an abandoned drive-in theater, so those will be coming out first part of next week. Every other day I'll be releasing a new one. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. And if you have any questions that we missed, feel free to drop them down in the comments section once this video is posted. And we'll see you guys pretty soon in our next video. Have a good night.
See you.